Welcome everyone to this video on which I'm going to show you Blake Lively is not that perfect role the media has been selling us for almost 15 years. And speaking about Defton, this is an article from the Spanish magazine Elle praising Blake's stunning looks for the promotion of the movie It Ends With Us. The movie is about domestic violence. Why they are putting this promo, like it was Barbie adventuring Glitterville? It's a very, very serious topic. All the controversy around the film It Ends With Us started because of Blake Lively. She was promoting this film like it was a romantic comedy, and not only that, in one promotion, I think in Los Angeles, she was with Ryan Reynolds, her hubby, and they tried to make the promotion of this film like a Barbie Heimer 2.0. If you don't believe me, check this out.
Hello, Blake Lively here.
Colleen Hoover.
And It Ends With Us is in theaters now, so grab your friends, wear your florals, and head out to see it.
I want to see you again.
What do you want men to take away from this film?
I want men, first of all, I want men to stop asking the question, why do women stay?
Yeah.
Right? I want men to take accountability. I want men to hold other men accountable. And in this particular film, I want men to go to the theater and in some way see a version of themselves. You have two very different characters. Both of them, in Atlas and Ryle, have had past trauma. One handles it very different than the other. And my other hope is that the men who have not done the work, to heal, if they see bits of themselves in Ryle, have a chance to step back and say, you know what, I don't want to blow up my life. I don't want to hurt the person.
I'm going to read some comments from the previous TikTok you've just seen. This user wrote, "Wear your florals." He's so dismissive about the topic. It's amazing. This woman has empathy or compassion. I was speaking about Blake, not the user. Another user says, also, Blake Lively using this movie to promote her hair product is so disrespectful. By the way, it's not the first time she uses polemic, supposedly beef, to promote her products. It's not the first time, and I'm going to show you later. The user Lana wrote, no, literally, like, grab your friends. What? The user Mayo wrote, I don't know why is Blake Lively wanting this to look like this movie is girlhood, Barbie 223 vibes, because it's literally about domestic violence. But hold on, my girlfriends, because there are more moments full of empathy and compassion. The user on Twitter, for me, it will be always Twitter, wrote this 9 hours ago. The user is Sophie Rose, and she wrote this. Justin Baldoni's PR could certainly be spinning things. Truly, I don't doubt it. But let's be clear here that Blake Lively said this entirely on her own. And you will see this interview, the journalist shows more empathy and compassion about the topic.
Most of us, if we're lucky enough to run into a celebrity in public, we only have a few moments to maybe speak with you guys. But for people who see this movie, who relate to the topics of this movie on a deeply personal level, they're really going to want to talk to you. This movie is going to affect people, and they're going to want to tell you about their lives. So if someone understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
Like asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you, and then we could I'm just curious
just social security number.
I'm a Virgo, so I'm like, are we talking logistics? Are we talking emotionally?
And the more you dig, the more dirt you find surrounding this controversy. This user as well in Twitter, Hilda Daniela, wrote, this is a disgust expression when she called portraying a DB woman messy. That is who you are defending. Listen carefully.
I feel like this is a film that's important to be made because just as an actor, I'm not often given the opportunity to tell the story of a woman that really experiences the entire spectrum of female or any human experience, you know? I was telling them that like when you experience pain or trauma or darkness or sadness, that's your character. Or if you're light and levity and love and joy and hope, then that's your character. You don't often see a woman that gets to be so multifaceted because you don't often see messy women in film. And so to be able to be a woman who's contradicting herself, but yet it makes complete sense, and seeing the messiness of the human experience, I think is a beautiful thing to see because it makes people feel seen and not alone. And I know that's how I felt when I read Lily. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
If you are thinking this controversy, it might be a little bit of an overreaction, overthinking, a campaign to bring Blake down, please watch the following TikTok because in 30 seconds it explains how deaf-tone, dismissive, and out of touch of DB this woman is.
And It Ends With Us is in theaters now, so grab your friends, wear your florals, and head out to see it.
Ooh, grab your close friends and wear your cotton dress. Wear your thorn crown and Jesus sandals. Arrive wet. War and whiskey sours. Yeah, nailed it. Wear your overalls, 'cause it's over.
Some brilliant and at the same time very sad comments on the previous TikTok. Well, actually, this is so funny, and I know I shouldn't be laughing at this, but this user wrote, "The Exorcist, ring your priest." In the same TikTok, I found this comment, and it gives a lot of perspective because it happened the same to me. When I saw little clips about the promotion, I really thought this film it was a romantic comedy. Carla wisely wrote, "I'm glad I read the book first because if I didn't, I would have believed this movie is about a lady with flowers of who find her soulmate." And now more sad examples. Nancy wrote, "Bring your oxygen tanks, the fault in our stars." Another comment says, "The color purple, wear something purple." I know it was a controversy around a TikToker, YouTuber. I won't bring that in this video because she apologized and she is a good girl. You can tell she is a good girl. She made a mistake. That's it. That's the past. Actually, The Color Purple is one of my favorite films of all time. My parents put me that film when I was 9 years old, and I'm 36, so I could do a video about the polemic, but I won't because, again, the TikToker, the YouTuber apologized and she's a nice girl, so leave it, people in the past. Another example, gather your friends, bake your favorite pie, and check out The Help. So after promoting this film for about 1 week, Blake was receiving backlash everywhere. On Twitter, on TikTok, on YouTube, everywhere. I have to say, a well-received backlash. But if Hollywood works fast, her PR team works harder because her team, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift teams, are the best in control damage. Check the counter campaign, the control damage campaign after receiving so much backlash.
Is this why Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni might be avoiding each other? Rumors have been going around that they have been feuding as they promote their new film, It Ends With Us. Throughout the press tour, they haven't been seen together, even at the premiere in New York. The question is, why? One industry insider has claimed that there were a few moments on set where Blake was made to feel uncomfortable about her postpartum body. Another alleges that Justin created an extremely difficult atmosphere behind the scenes for the entire cast. However, other insiders say that there's no bad blood between the cast, and people who have worked with Justin say that he would never intentionally set out to make any of his actors feel unsupported. Blake and Justin are yet to comment openly on the so-called drama, but Justin, who directed the movie, says that Blake should direct the next one. Is this him removing himself from the project because of what supposedly happened during filming? What do you guys think?
As you can tell, I love to add in my videos users' comments because not only gives you perspective, it gives you a lot of info you can't find or is so difficult to find all over the media. By the way, these two comments are from the last launch video about precisely this topic. I'm reading. Please, Justin is the only one treating this movie the way it should be treated. The way he even speaks about it is the way a movie about DB should get treated. Completely agree. And this is why I love to add users' comments, because I didn't know this info. Well, I need to be honest, I didn't know who Justin Baldoni was before the controversy, and probably neither a lot of other users who know who is Justin Baldoni. I'm reading. Justin Baldoni has been an activist against DB for 10 years. Everyone who has worked with him in the past sings his praises. Watch his TED Talk. He's a good guy. Watch Blake's interview in 2016. Watch her interview on what she would say if someone wanted to talk to her about the DB topic. She's mean girl all of the way. People after 10, 15 years is finally waking up, is breaking the spell from this marriage, this couple, and finally they are realizing who Blake Lively really is. And wait, because now it's going to get even messier and even nastier. I'm reading the original Pop Crave tweet. The reason Blake Lively allegedly told people Justin Baldoni made her feel uncomfortable on the set of the movie It Ends With Us. This, as I was explaining before in the video, is the controlled damage after the backlash she received, the counter campaign against Justin Baldoni, who is the director as well. And I found this tweet. So the tweet from the Twitter user tagged as lesbian is a quote from the Pop Graves one. I'm reading. So it's not okay to ask how much a woman weighs for safety reasons, but it's perfectly fine for your friend Woody Allen to SA his daughters because he's empowering two women. Do I have this right, Blake Lively? I'm reading the article the previous Twitter user had. The article is from 2016 and is when Blake Lively was promoting the film she made with Woody Allen. I'm reading. Blake Lively calls Woody Allen very empowering. I'm quote unquote. It's very dangerous to factor in things you don't know anything about. I know my experience, and my experience with Woody is he's empowering to women. 2016. Not that long. If you wanna read properly the screenshots from the article, you can pause the video now. And if you don't know about Woody Allen, his relationship with his adopted daughter, with Mia Farrow, and if you wanna check and if you wanna fall in that rabbit hole, please, I'm warning you, it's totally disturbing and it will shake your core. So I'm warning you. Due to the controversy about this film, there are resurfacing gold moments by Blake Lively, like this one. I am reading this Pop Crave tweet. I can't say even that word, so I will read like the interviewer from Norway, Herske Fla, shares her nightmare interview with Blake Lively conducted in 2016 while Lively was promoting Woody Allen's, I won't even say the film's name because I don't want to promote any Allen's film in this channel. Quote unquote Herske, sitting down with Blake Lively and her co-star Parker Posey for TTTT is the most uncomfortable interview situation I have ever experienced. Is it not okay to congratulate someone on their pregnancy or to ask another woman about costume she's wearing in a film? Even, and I'm reading, the interviewer titled the video "The Blake Lively Interview That Made Me Want to Quit My Job." I've added 3 minutes from that interview, and I need to warn you, it's so cringe, like young people say. It's so secondhand embarrassing, and you can feel how uncomfortable the interviewer was and how rude and mean girls vibe attitude these 2 women has towards the interviewer. This is not okay.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got 2 nice ones.
They are kind of bumps, aren't they?
No, not bumps. The lovely lady lumps. Check it out.
Thank you. You like the movie?
Everyone wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes.
I would. I love Jesse's
He
suits and how
That's what I'm saying. His wardrobe was beautiful.
I know.
Corey's wardrobe was gorgeous.
He's
Those
so
high-waisted pants.
He's so great.
I wish men
and
wore
sorry,
high-waisted pants
too.
like
I know.
that still.
Me
Or
too.
their father with his tank top in
Oh,
bed.
it's so good.
It's just like
Did you
that.
catch
You could feel
the
it.
tablecloth on the light in the Italian restaurant when they eat spaghetti?
I didn't notice that. No.
There's
So
so
I
much
feel like-
warmth of everything, you know.
Yeah, it's not just the women that have the clothes.
But
I feel like the women
Victoria-
get the conversation, but it's like
Yeah.
every detail with everybody.
But
Like,
yeah,
it's so,
it was
so
amazing
beautiful.
to look at.
Steve's
And then to see
white
it.
suits.
Yes.
And then
What do you feel like is the biggest misconceptions about fame and Hollywood in general?
I think the idea that people think that they know you, I think because of the how intrusive media is these days, people care so much more about your personal life than they do your work, and if you aren't open with your personal life, then they just make it up for you and share it for you. So I think the biggest misconception I see often is people feeling like they know someone that they don't, because they know what the media has created of someone. And the disappointing thing is when you meet the people, they're always so much more awesome than they're portrayed to be. I mean, that's normally my experience. And even people that are portrayed to be really great people, they're just a lot more complicated and interesting and nuanced and caring and thoughtful. And that's always nice, you know, to see that your idea of someone isn't always who they actually are, but be pleasantly surprised.
Well, we're just, inundated with a lot of material. You can be if you have the internet. Of reading about these people and thinking that you know them and all that, and it's like the spectacle of that of what we do as actors that has risen a lot more in the past decade than ever before. So misconceptions, like, I think if you're rich and famous that you're happy is probably the biggest. And we see that, fame and success is a burden as much as it is a blessing. That would probably be, you know what I mean? Like, I think people think, oh, if only I was recognized for what I do. If I had a job and I could walk down the street and someone would be like, you were great today at your job, then I would be happy. But it's not, that's not the truth. It's, I don't think that makes someone happy.
So you don't like swapping cards?
That's my phone. Hold on a second.
No, she wasn't saying she didn't like it. She was talking about, you asked what perceptions were, and she was saying that fame or success
There's
or
a
money
misconception.
doesn't equate happiness.
Yeah, no.
Happiness
people-
equates happiness.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
But not only this, Blake Lively only a few months ago took the chance to mock Kate Middleton and to promote her other brand. I'm reading this article from Board Panda. I'm reading. People love to be mean. Blake Lively apologizes after Kate Middleton's C diagnosis. Blake Lively extended an apology for a recent social media post about Photoshop fails amid the revelation of Kate Middleton's C diagnosis. You know, all that controversy as well about the Photoshop made for Mother's Day in, well, UK, Australia, and practically the whole Commonwealth. And again, she took this controversy to make fun because she and Ryan, they are so funny, ha 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 ha, to what? And the reason is to promote her brand because she has several brands. The 36-year-old actress, yes, sure, actress, wrote an apologetic message on her Instagram stories on Friday, after her initial post, which seemed to be her participation in the humor aimed at Kate Middleton's photo editing revelations. Quote unquote, I'm sure no one cares today, but I feel like I have to acknowledge this. Me, myself, and I. This woman is so narcissistic, is so egocentrical. And keep reading. I made a silly post around the Photoshop fails frenzy, and oh man, that post has me mortified today. I'm sorry. Sending love and well wishes to all, always. End of quote. Blake wrote in her apology note. And this is the part when you see her true colors and her awful colors. And I'm reading. In her initial post, Blake shared a campaign for sparkling mixer brand. I won't promote her brand. The campaign appeared to be a play off the controversy surrounding 42 years old Kate Middleton's Mother's Day photo that was later confirmed to be edited. Quote unquote, I'm so excited to share this new photo I just took today to announce our 4 new blah 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 products. Now you know why I've been MIA. End of quote. Blake captioned the carousel of promotion photos for her sparkling mixer brand. Shameless. She gives a damn. This is the infamous picture. This woman is wicked in a very bad way. Wait, because there is more, and this tells you how good the Blake and Ryan's PR teams are, because probably this new didn't even get Europe. I didn't know about this. I found this today on Twitter, and the original tweet says, you all were too busy hating on Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds that you overlooked the fact that the entire cast unfollowed Justin Baldoni. Justin Baldoni is the actor and the director of the film It Ends With Us. And a quote from the user Pastel Milkshake says, Blake Lively defended Woody Allen, and her and Ryan had a plantation wedding. That speaks volumes on their character, I fear. It wasn't the first user pointing out the plantation wedding, but I was wondering why the controversy about the plantation wedding, because I'm from Spain, living in UK for a long time, and I didn't know. Maybe it was a type of wedding in Canada, in USA, but then I wondered, maybe plantation wedding is related to the slaves. And I thought, no, that's impossible, because these two will be cancelled since then. But not they only weren't cancelled, they thrive since then. And I'm reading, Blake Lively has been tone deaf since her plantation wedding and promotion of slave owner style. They made this type of wedding aesthetic. The fuck is this? I'm reading, Blake Lively has been tone deaf since her plantation wedding and promotion of slave owner style. I mean, I think she has been like this since always. It's not like she's tone deaf. She gives two shits about everything. It's only about her perfect life, her perfect husband. That's it. She doesn't care. Because she is like a goddess, because what I read all over these years is a goddess. Oh my god, she's so beautiful. She looks so well after having so many kids. But she and I always say Ryan Gosling, sorry, Ryan Reynolds survived to this. Can you imagine if other white couple, would have made this type of wedding? They would have already cancelled for 12 years. They wouldn't survive to this fiasco. I keep reading accusation that Lively is glamorizing. Yeah, amazing. And yes, she's doing domestic violence with her. It ends with a marketing campaign is reminiscent of when she turned slave-owning plantation into style statements for her 2012 wedding and for her short-lived lifestyle company. Wow. How the people allow this? Another article says, the Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds plantation wedding controversy explained. What we saw at the time was a wedding venue on Pinterest. Wow, Pinterest, yes. What we saw after was a place built upon devastating tragedy. And I was wondering, if you couldn't take on the land, on the history, on where you was going to get married, Ryan, or maybe you don't like to read. Hello, slavery, USA, Canada, hello. However, when Blake and Ryan got married back in 2012, what was supposed to be a purely magical day stirred up controversy due to the setting for the nuptials, a former plantation. Of course, no controversy, no. They shouldn't getting married there, or they should have reading a little bit of story about the place they were going to get married. I'm reading another article. Yes, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds had their wedding at a former plantation and controversy ensued. The A-list stars that we love and adore, speak for yourself, chose South Carolina's Boone Hall Plantation and Gardens for their wedding, blah, 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 blah. And while the setting was indeed idyllic in appearance, having been the setting for The Notebook, I hate that movie, by the way, the fact that it has such a dark past meant that people were understandably upset. Upset? That's an understatement. By 2020, 8 years later, 8 years, Ryan was apologizing for what he called a giant fucking mistake. But can you see, 8 years later, again, can you imagine if, I don't know, Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber would have married in this plantation? Imagine. Of course, I'm not a fan of Hailey Bieber. I like some Justin Bieber song. But, for example, imagine Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco get married in a former slave plantation. Imagine. I keep reading, as he told Fast Company, quote unquote, it's impossible to reconcile. What we saw at the time was a wedding venue on Pinterest. Wow, Pinterest. Not basic at all. What we saw after was a place built upon devastating tragedy. 8 years later. 8 years. You know the worst? Probably they were apologizing in 2020. Ryan was apologizing in 2020 because probably a lot of people discovered, probably Jen said, discovered these two have a plantation wedding. They were making TikToks videos, they were making videos on YouTube, and to prevent backlash, Ryan made this apologize and oh my god, sorry. Yes. You are not sorry. You are avoiding backlash and being cancelled. I keep reading. In an effort to make up for their lapse in judgments, the wealthy couple, they tell you they are wealthy, they are going to give away money, so they are better than us, so shut up. The wealthy couple announced they had donated this amount of money to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. Quote unquote, we are ashamed that in the past we've allowed ourselves to be uninformed about how deeply rooted systemic racism is. Quote unquote, they said in a statement in part post to Instagram in May 2020. See? Something happened in 2020 to make these movements. The statement continued, quote unquote, we have been teaching our children differently than the way our parents taught us. We want to educate ourselves about other people's experiences and talk to our kids about everything, all of it, especially our own complicity. End of quote. Yes, sure.